What's up guys, Rod's Reps here. You read the title, you seen the thumbnail, in today's video is about. We've got these off-white Air Jordan 1 in the European white colorway. Now let's get into that intro montage. All right, so today in front of us, we've got the off-white Air Jordan 1 in the white European colorway. Funny enough, little backstory behind this sneaker is that originally in the 10 collection, Virgil was going to do a white Air Jordan 1, but he said in an interview once that he saw someone wearing a pair of white Air Force Ones, and he thought he couldn't tell the difference between a completely white pair of Air Force Ones and Air Jordan 1s. They were too similar to the passing glance, so they opted to go with the Chicago colorway, so it'd be more striking and rememberable. But then years later, they did come out with these, the white on white version of the Air Jordan 1, which was a European exclusive. That's why it's got that in the name, the Euro version. There's a reason everyone loves it. Virgil's absolute masterpiece, in my opinion, are these Air Jordan 1s. Well, honestly, I prefer the Chicago or the canary yellow colorway, but these are absolutely lovely, being complete white on white colorway. You can't go wrong with all white. So let's talk about some of the details of the sneaker, because as we know, this one is absolutely full of them. Editor Jared here. I know you hear this spiel from every YouTuber, but if you guys could please subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. We can see on this little bit on the studio page, this is not a screenshot. You can see my mouse moving. 92% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. So you could please hit that button, get that number bigger, give me a little bit of dopamine. That'd be greatly appreciated. Starting with the sole. The sole is actually not a pure white, it's slightly gray, but other than that, it is a plain Air Jordan 1 outsole. Aside from the this caked on mud that I've got on the bottom of mine, a little grungy. Taking a look at the midsole, we can see that comparison of the gray outsole versus this creamy off-white color of the midsole. And then of course at the back of the midsole is that signature Air in quotes that Virgil puts on all of the Nike collaborations he does that have an Air unit in the sole. Now of course, this being a Jordan 1, that Air unit doesn't do all that much for the comfort, but we'll let it slide. Technically, it does have one in there. Now moving up to the upper, this is where it gets interesting. First, let's look at the smooth leather that covers around the toe box and over the lace eyelets, the swoosh, and the back heel strap. Up here on the front of the toe box, it is double thick with this smooth leather. It is very soft and plush and comfortable on feet, which is complemented by the other materials, but we'll get into those in a minute. Moving up to the lace eyelets, we can see this extra second layer flap that goes over the bottom 3 lace eyelets, which has the ghost stitching holes. The ghost stitching is where it would have been stitched down, but on these off-white collaborations, they choose to not stitch down these panels, as it gives it that prototype, work in progress type of design. I choose to lace mine up underneath this panel to give it that extra flair. And as you can see, you can peel back this layer and see the other side of the leather, which is more of a suede texture. This same smooth white leather is also found on the swoosh, which is on only the outer side of the shoe. And then of course also up at the ankle collar on the back of the sneaker is the same white leather, which can flop down and you can see the suede interior of that leather panel. Also on the interior side of the shoe is also made up of that same white smooth leather, and it has that signature off-white text on it, which reads off-white, trademark for Nike, Air Jordan 1, Beaverton, Oregon, USA, copyright 1985, which is of course the time and place where the Air Jordan 1 was made. The next notable material on the upper is this foam mesh, which covers the toe box, the exterior side panel, and also around the ankle collar here. On the toe box, you can see mine has plenty of distressing, as the little holes that are poked in it have started to rip open more. This material being on the toe box is very soft and breathable. It's super comfortable. I'll be honest, sometimes I wear this pair as a gym shoe just because it's already so beat up, I don't really care, and it's so soft and breathable. Same thing on the side panel, but it's not nearly beat up as the toe. And something that's more noticeable on the side panel is this line of stitching, which is covered by a little piece of plastic. Kind of looks like a piece of tape. And you can really see the color difference between just the bare foam and where the plastic is. Then rounding out the last of the foam panels, we have the ankle collar up here, which on my pair is fraying like mad. That deconstructed, unstitched look is starting to take its toll, as even if mine were stitched, they probably would have become unstitched by now with how hard these are beat. But this material being on the ankle collar is genuinely a wonderful thing because of how soft and comfortable it is. And of course, this material wraps completely around the entire ankle collar underneath that smooth white leather ankle strap. It makes up the whole thing. There's only a couple more things on the upper. We'll start with this little piece of tan suede, which borders the side panel and the ankle collar and the heel cup. It sort of forms a Y in between those three panels. Of course, I just mentioned that heel cup, which is an exposed kind of paper mache type material, although it's definitely not paper mache. But it has that kind of texture and feel to it. This is just the exposed heel cup instead of a different panel or leather over top of it. This is just the exposed material. And a last detail on the upper that I should mention is the little patch that is on the back of the swoosh. It is sewn down. We have this little orange patch with some thick orange stitching around the edges of it. And then of course we have this blue stitching, which is over the top of the swoosh, and a little zigzag at the bottom of the swoosh, which is what holds it on there. Those are the only accent colors on the whole sneaker, of course, aside from my laces. Now that I just mentioned the laces, let's talk about that. But let's start with the tongue first. The tongue is also made up of that foam, although it is covered with the Jordan tongue nylon type material. But obviously on the top and edges of the tongue, it is exposed and poking out. Also, a notable feature on the tongue here is that the Nike Air tag is on the outer side edge of the tongue rather than it being on the top. And it is a white tag with orange text, which matches that little flap of fabric that is connected to the swoosh on the side there. Now talking about the laces, in mine I like to use the black laces to add a little accent color. And of course these are regular off-white laces with the text shoelaces printed on the top of them. And this pair comes with the ones that I have in it, obviously, the black laces with white text on them. They also, by default, come laced up with white laces with black text. There's also this washed out icy blue pair of laces with black text. There's orange laces with black text. And there's purple laces with white text. So you got a lot of options if you're going to pick yourself up a pair of these. You can pick and choose what accent color you want, or if you want to just leave them plain. Now into comfort and sizing. As I was talking about before, these guys are super comfortable when it comes to Jordan 1s because of the materials used here. Because of this soft, smooth leather that is notably better than other general Jordan 1s. And this mesh foam that covers the toe box and the side panel and the tongue, it is outstandingly comfortable for an Air Jordan 1. Of course, maybe you're not going to choose the off-white ones as a comfy everyday wear shoe, but if you do go to wear them, keep in mind that they are notably comfortable with the upper materials used. Of course, it is an Air Jordan 1, so the comfort underfoot is significantly lacking, so definitely pop in a pair of comfy replacement insoles into there and it'll be all good. When it comes to sizing, obviously these are a pair of Air Jordan 1s, so they fit true to size. My pair is a half size up because that's just what I got for a nice deal, but I would not recommend it. Just get your regular true to size, as all of the rest of the pairs of 1s in my collection are true to size and they all fit perfectly, so I wouldn't worry about sizing at all. So that's it. This video about the off-white Air Jordan 1 in this white European colorway. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned a little something. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.